My name is Kendall Kern, and I had the reservoir and transmission for tuberculosis. For the reservoir, humans are actually the only known reservoir for the tuberculosis disease. Many researchers have tried to research and discover where it came from. A lot of them believe that it originated in Egypt, but nobody has been able to figure it out for sure. There are a bunch of random studies. When I found that was kind of funny. They thought it came from seals, and so they've been studying like marine life. No one's completely sure, but the only thing we are sure about is that the only known reservoir is us, as humans. For transmission, it goes through airborne droplet transmission, and I just have two examples of myself. One is sneezing, and another is coughing. Alright, so it's airborne transmission from droplet nuclei, and I have a little diagram that I made. So this person over here is infected with the bacteria, and so when this person coughs or sneezes or sings or shouts, the particles go into the air, and then someone else can breathe them in, and then that's when they'll become infected. So the particles enter the air, and then they will remain there for several hours, and that's when anyone who walks by or breathes them in will potentially become infected. And so how that happens is they'll breathe it in, and then it will travel down into their lungs, and then it will go into their alveolar sacs, and then that is where the bacteria will begin to multiply, and then your immune system will recognize the bacteria, and then it will come in, and it'll have the macrophages come, and they'll surround the bacteria, and a granuloma will form, and that's to keep the bacteria from spreading, but that granuloma will just remain there in the lungs. And 8 to 10 weeks from inhalation, the person could test positive for latent TB or pulmonary TB. Latent TB is where it's dormant and you aren't actually sick, it's just there in the granuloma waiting around. And pulmonary TB happens when the granuloma breaks, and then the TB bacteria will begin to multiply, and that's when the person will actually become sick, and they'll start having the signs and symptoms. And that actually can happen either immediately after they become infected or anytime later. And it typically happens in people with not very strong immune systems, so it could be young children or older adults or anyone who's been sick or who has been through chemo treatment. Anyone with a compromised immune system are likely to get active pulmonary TB.